After leaving religion and Christianity, I embraced atheism. And after I went to therapy for several years, I realized that atheism helps me embrace the desire where I want to be a single cis straight woman. Now, for those listening who aren't cis, straight, female, that's okay. No one ever said it wasn't. I've just discovered what I want for my life. And I don't give people life advice. I don't tell people how to live their life or to change their orientation because you can't. And nobody's going to be happy being anything but who they really are. And I've learned that I'm most happiest when I live life as a single cis straight woman who doesn't conform to heterosexual expectations for life choices such as dating, motherhood, having kids, being married. I prefer being a child-free, religion-free, marriage-free, man-free, and pet-free kind of person. And yes, I've actually tried having pets. It's just not the pursuit I want to have in my life. I like to travel, and it's much harder to travel when you don't have very many friends, and leaving a pet all by itself can be very lonely. I'm just not an animal person, but I do like being around animals. I'm just not the maintenance kind of person. And I was recently shamed in the YouTube comments for one of my videos for being 40 years old, child-free, and unmarried. Well, the person doesn't know what they're talking about. I'm not 40. I'm 31. Okay? And I'm not childless. I'm child-free. The difference is childless means that there is a expectation to be fertile, and there shouldn't be. Just because you have certain parts doesn't mean you have to use those parts like everyone else. And there's nothing wrong if you choose to use your parts the way a lot of people use them. The deciding factor is, do you have a passion to do it? Do you want to? Does it fit into your plans? Is it a compatible, realistic option based on mental health, career, the hours you're home, the place where you live? Not everywhere allows you to have kids or pets. And there's nothing wrong with being 40, not having kids or a partner. Personally, I think it's the best way to live, but that's my opinion. As long as people live their best life and are at their most happy living their life, that's all that matters. And I don't tell people how to live their life. I'm not qualified, and I don't know people. Unless you can read minds or you have a degree in psychology and all these different tools you need to be an enigmatic therapist, nobody has any business giving life advice. Especially if you don't believe in women's rights. So I live my life the way I want to. And if people shame me for it, they're just telling on themselves. Because happy people don't tear down other people. If somebody's constantly criticizing people, they're telling on themselves that they're a miserable human being. And life is short. If you can't be your authentic self around your friends and family, get new friends and get a new family. I live my life how I want to, what makes me happy, and life is an adventure. What makes you happy at 21 may or may not make you happy at 35. And what makes you happy at 35 may look entirely different at 60 years of age. Life, you evolve, you change. The trick of going through life is taking change gracefully and choosing and keeping people in your life that makes change and difficult parts of your life easier. If people don't make your life easier and much more fun, they're probably not good for you. And of course, you might say, well, children don't make your life easier. That's true. That's true. But it doesn't have to be your identity or everything about your life. I choose the kind of life I want, and I never felt comfortable when I was a Christian being my authentic self, because my authentic self is so different from every other woman in church. It's hard to be comfortable around them. Plus, they shame you and they look at you like you're expiring. I mean, I'm a human being. I'm not a tuna sandwich. I can live my entire life without kids, pets, and men, and travel and have a career, be a licensed medical professional, and be happy. Not everyone will be happy living this life the way I do. You have to be extremely independent, confident, secure in how you see yourself for a lot of women to even be comfortable being single. And not everyone has the mental and physical attributes required to live life by themselves for their entire life. It's not for everyone. And that's okay. If your best life is having 2 kids and a white picket fence, that's fine. That's what feminism is all about, choosing what life meets your needs. And if people can't get it, they're not meant to. And the wonderful thing about being an adult is I don't have to justify my choices to anyone. And if people shame me or leave nasty comments like they did an hour ago, they're just ignorant. They don't understand. And they were raised in a culture that just doesn't want to understand. So, miserable people are usually the first person to leave a nasty comment. And it's every single time. For some reason, it's always a Christian. I don't know why. But I pretty much can guess why. I lived in it for so many years. It's not rocket science to figure out why.